clearly, the markets are a little bit jittery right now. We have midterm elections, we have rising interest rates, we have trade tensions, that July 6th deadline this Friday, where the US is going to impose billions of dollars worth of tariffs on Chinese imports, all that weighing on the markets. Where do the markets go in the second half of the year?
Well, I'm a bit of a cautious for the second half of the year because I think as you said, the trade tension is going to continue. I don't think it's going to be over soon. So probably it's going to end up with a more escalating kind of the tension between China and the US. And then Europe and the other like North American are all involved. So it doesn't look rosy. Secondly, I think also the inflation outlook, if you're imposing such a tariff on the imported goods for US, I think inflation is a risk, plus the oil sanction against Iran. And you go see that the oil price rising, which also adding the inflation pressure, which means the Fed fund rate probably is going to rise further. And that will probably also adding a lot of pressure for the funding costs and also increase the risk for the recession in the coming year.
Yonghao, I mean, a lot of people, of course, agree with what you're saying. We are looking, of course, at the difference between the 2-year and the 10-year, and it seems to be flattening out quite a bit. There are concerns about an inverted yield curve and what that means for a looming economic slowdown. What are your concerns? I mean, could this somehow put the Fed on a slow foot and somehow dispel that fourth rate hike?
Well, I mean, the Fed probably is the hand are a bit tight, right? Tied up in a way because if inflation coming up, the Fed probably have to raise the interest rate. I mean, maybe they can reduce instead of 3-4 times, maybe 2 to 3. But nevertheless, Fed need to it's a committed target, right, to control the inflation, make inflation stable. On the top of that, we see the U.S. labor market is getting hot, and unemployment rate already dropped to like 3.8. It's going to very limited room to have a further downside. So which means the labor market cost is going to adding more pressure on the Fed. And on the top of that, you see the trade tension. So in that way, I think the interest rate probably will need to continue to rise, and that will adding a lot of pressure on the market, particularly emerging market. We see the emerging market a lot of the leveraging and a lot of debt, which if your interest rate rising, it put pressure on most of the emerging market, particularly those countries have a lot of the external debt.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.